What's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here with Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming to you guys with another live show. And in today's show, we're going to be talking to Adam Snyder of the Homemade Entrepreneur YouTube channel. So I want to welcome Adam to the show, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Adam, to the people who are watching live right now, and tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why they should watch this show.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me. Yeah, like you said, my name's Adam Snyder. My YouTube channel is The Homemade Entrepreneur. Um, I teach is, just anything online, Amazon FBA, Kindle, Amazon Associate, niche websites, YouTube. The list really goes on and on. But yeah, I just talk about a bunch of different stuff and building multiple income streams. I've been big on creating multiple income streams instead of just one, as I find that it's creates a little bit more security financially.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I definitely like about your YouTube
Yeah.
channel. You're not just fenced into one topic, right? You ever watch a YouTube channel and there's nothing wrong with it, and all they talk about is one thing. And I don't know, to me, I mean, I feel like it's the spice of life, trying different things and experimenting, and that's just one thing that really gravitated me to your YouTube channel. Like you said, is you're talking about a lot of different things, and I think we're really in the same boat, Adam, when it comes to diversifying ourselves and minimizing risk. And for anyone watching right now, if you're looking to expand your horizons and minimize that risk, this is going to be a great show for you. But Adam, how long have you been on YouTube for creating content, and how long have you been in business for? Maybe you could give a little brief introduction of or a little background story of what brought you to where you are today and whatnot.
So I actually started online in 2006, and that was a way of creating an income because my wife and I we actually moved to Mexico for about 3 years.
Okay.
As an American, I didn't have a way of making an income down there, so I turned to making money online. Um, I first started out, one of my very first websites was called dormroomcash.com. Uh, Now it's actually closed down. I didn't keep that up. Helped me with that. They slapped me with a couple penalties, and then when my AdSense account got banned or suspended as well,
Oh,
I moved on to something else. So have another AdSense account, but that that hit right there is what prompted me to create multiple income streams.
yeah, that's definitely something that's real, right? I've noticed it on YouTube, Kindle, Amazon, you know. And we talked about this a little bit last night in a live show that we held on my channel last night with the Green Room, Adam. We were talking about, when you're playing in somebody's sandbox, they make the rules, right? I mean,
Yep.
if Amazon wants to change their algorithm or Google wants to change their algorithm, do they give you a call, Adam? Does Google ever give you a call and say, hey, Adam, I'm going to change the algorithm. It may affect your niche website, but is that okay with you?
Yeah, I was waiting for that call. I never got it.
You know what? Did you check your voicemail, man? They may have left a message for you.
I have to let.
That's awesome. So that's a little bit about Adam. It looks like he started in 2006 with the niche websites, and again, like we were saying before, he's moved on to, he's a content creator on YouTube, Kindle Publishing, affiliate marketing, Amazon. I'm not sure. Have you ever done eBay?
I used to do eBay,
Okay.
and I used to do really well with eBay. But then after Amazon started getting a little bit bigger,
Yep.
as you probably know, Amazon can easily take over your income stream or your income on eBay, and it doesn't take very long for that to happen.
Yep, you are right about that. So for everybody watching right now, we do want to let you know that this is a live show. We are here live, and we do have our secondary feeds open right now. I'm looking in the comment section right now. So if you guys are on your desktop, you're going to be able to see the comment section on the right-hand side of the video. Looks like we got some people in the house right now. Timothy Fisk, what's going on, Tim, man? It's my buddy Tim in the comments. We're going to be going garage sailing Saturday morning. We've got Brandy Jean in the house. What's going on, Brandy? Cute picture with your little, I can't tell if it's a boy or girl. It's a really small avatar picture. We got Tanya with Thrifty Treasures in the house. Hey, y'all. What's going on? And West Coast Hustle. What up? What up? We got Hand Fam 4. What's up? So we do want to let you guys know we are going to make this an interactive live hangout. We're going to be in the comment section answering questions, helping you guys out. Trying to help you to take your business to the next level. That's what we're here for. Adam's been, in business for a while, for almost 10 years. So any questions, ask away. I do want to say, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button right now. Show some love for Adam and I. Let us know that we're doing a good job. And also, I want to shout out real quick your platforms where people could find you, Adam. Where can people learn more about you if they actually like this show, which I believe they will?
You can go to my Homemade Entrepreneur YouTube channel. It's actually youtube.com/millionairesquest is the, you can get Homemade Entrepreneur.
I'll link it below.
Facebook, it's facebook.com /homemade entrepreneur. Instagram, same thing, homemade entrepreneur.
Awesome.
And then the website is homemade entrepreneurs with an S.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, if you guys like the show, definitely check Adam out. He's got a lot of cool content out there, especially on YouTube. But let's dive right into the meat and potatoes of this live show, Adam. And let's talk about something we were kind of already touching on a little bit, which is the importance of earning multiple income streams. I know for a fact that a lot of people watching right now, because I know my audience very well, is primarily selling on either eBay or Amazon, and probably heavily on Amazon. They're very, very, they like it. They like their eBay, they like their Amazon. But I do notice a lot of my, people who watch my videos, a lot of my audience, they're kind of stubborn. They don't want to go outside the box. Maybe they haven't been hit yet with a punch or a right hook yet. And that's why I really like to talk about income streams and why you need to diversify. Let's talk about some of the other reasons why people will want to diversify their income, and maybe if they're only selling on Amazon or eBay, why they should maybe look into Kindle Publishing, or maybe into freelancing on Upwork.com or Fiverr, or maybe starting a niche website or affiliate marketing. What are some other reasons why that people should look into diversifying their income, Adam?
Well, it's not only security, but for people that are doing, and a lot of people that watch my channel as well are mainly into Amazon FBA and just online business, I guess, in general. But if you are only doing Amazon FBA, you will have some downtimes, and it's usually at night. By creating another income stream, you're setting yourself up for financial security. And then, like you said, if you haven't got hit with that punch or with a suspension letter or something yet, I'm not saying it's going to happen. So nobody sees that, but what if it does? Like you said, you're playing in somebody else's sandbox, and Amazon will make a change, not tell anybody, not ask anybody, and then all of a sudden, where are you at? It's very important to create multiple income streams, online and offline. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can do, and you can go with what you're already doing with Amazon FBA. So for example, on Amazon, so my private label products, I can create another website for those products. I can link to that product. I can link to a Kindle ebook that talks about that exact same product. So I can sell my ebook. I can get some views on my website, and then I can also promote the private label product, which is the.
Absolutely. So how do you recommend that people actually get starting building up another income stream? I mean, as you know, it's tough. It really is tough to start something new. There's a lot of systems and processes and rules that we have to learn when we start something new. I mean, I remember starting up my Kindle publishing business, and at first it was hard. It was really, really hard, even though I went with a course and everything. I remember starting my YouTube channel, the same thing, eBay, Craigslist. What advice would you have for somebody who's, maybe they're only doing Kindle publishing, right? Maybe they're not even doing FBA, Adam. Maybe they're doing only Kindle publishing, and maybe they're making $2,000 a month, but they know that, what, I need to diversify. I'm playing in someone else's sandbox. How do you recommend somebody getting into another income stream?
Well, the first thing I always tell any of my clients is to start with one income stream to where you want it, or to your goal, and try to scale it. And then once it's successful, then move on to the next one. Don't dabble in, 3 or 4 different income streams and have them all mediocre to what you want it to be, and then move on.
Yeah, that's really good advice, and that's exactly what I've done for sure. Do you mind sharing with people what your current income streams are? Like maybe some of the things that you're dabbling in. I know later on in this interview we're going to talk about FBA, Kindle Publishing, YouTube, affiliate marketing, a bunch of things. But kind of off the top of the dome, what are you dabbling in with right now for your income streams?
Side of all the ones you just mentioned, um, I do peer-to-peer lending through Prosper.com and Lending Club.
Okay.
2 years. I also do as well. Um, let's see. There's stock trading for people that are. I'm not going to go out and say I always make money on stocks, because it's not the way the market works.
Give
But
us
I
a hot
do.
penny stock, man. Give us a hot penny stock real quick. Just keep going.
Yeah, I would, but the last one I just invested in this morning actually lost money so far. So
Oh man.
we'll,
Okay. Yeah, we won't take your advice.
yeah, I won't give advice on that.
So you said prosper.com, the lendingclub.com, stocks. Are there any service businesses? Do you do any freelance work or anything? I know you said you do coaching.
I used to do freelance work. I actually had, and I still do have VAs in the Philippines,
Okay.
and so I use them for my personal business. But I used to use them. I'd have one of the VAs send me whatever it was, the topic of the content, whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'd have the other VA write it up, and then I'd have an editor over in Boston. He'd do all the editing for me, and then I'd get the end product and send that to the client. Um, it's and that was when Upwork used to be Elance. Ever since they switched, I actually haven't done much work with that.
Okay. Okay, cool, man. To take a step back, because I'm actually really interested in the dormroomcash.com. No, I'm just kidding. I'm interested in prosper.com and lendingclub.com, which you mentioned as one of your income streams. Do you mind sharing with everybody how that works, how much money you have to invest, maybe some of the rules, because that's interesting. I've heard about it in blogs before, people lending money. And isn't it kind of like a crowdfunding type of lending service, if I remember correctly? Or maybe you could explain to everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty much similar to that. So you'll all go in and like we'll just use Lending Club for example. That's the one I like the best. I like their platform. It's really easy to use and to understand. Um, but you go in and you can have I think your minimum investment. Well, not I think your minimum investment is $25.
How
So let's
much?
say,
Okay.
yeah, it's very cheap to get into, and that's for one note. You can invest as much as you want. I think you can fund somebody's entire loan if you wanted to. In my opinion, that's extremely risky. I'd spread out your loans uh, between dozens or hundreds of people. It's just easier that way, and more security, I guess. But and they tell you based on the person's their work history, the last time they had a delinquency,
Okay.
their credit score, their income. They tell you all that stuff, whether they own a home or they're renting. So you can do all your homework on the person before you even invest in them, and then your $25 could get you, a very safe bet would be like a 6% interest rate, or you can get up to like 19 or probably even higher, but I wouldn't go anything over like 16, 17.
Okay, so pretty much what you're doing is this is really really cool. You're a lender. You really are a lender, and
Yeah.
you could choose the amount of money that you lend, and you could actually do your homework on them and learn about the person, kind of like a bank does, right? When you're going to get a mortgage
Yep.
for a house or a car, and you do your research, and I'm assuming the riskier the person, the higher the rate is going to be.
Yeah. The riskier the person, sometimes the more they want to, they want to loan, and also what their purpose is. So if they just want to go on a vacation, chances are the interest rate's going to be higher than if they're consolidating credit cards or paying off a loan or something.
So how does it work? Say, let's just round up a number. Let's just say 10%. So let's just say that I need a loan and I go on the site as the consumer. I want to have a loan, right? And I'm looking for a loan for, let's just say, $1,000. I have to pay some back taxes or something. I don't know. I'm just making up something random. Maybe I don't know what the reason. That's probably a really bad reason. It'd be like 50%.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll just make up a reason, whatever it is. And I need $1,000. So I go on to lending.com.
Lendingclub.com.
Lendingclub.com, and I pretty much probably fill something out and I'm looking for 1,000. And you're an investor. Say the interest rate came to 10%. Is that per year? So like if I paid you, like how long do you have to pay the person back? And like 10%, like would I get would you get $1,100 back if I like went through the process?
The percentage is APR, so it's on an annual or the annual percentage rate.
Okay.
So over a year they pay 10%, or whatever it is. But so let's say you had $1,000 loan and I invested $100 into it.
Okay.
You as the borrower decide how long you want to hold that loan for, how long of a life you want.
Oh.
2 years, if it's 3 years, could be 18 months. You decide all that. And for me, the longer the loan is, usually the more interest I get out of it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so when the borrower makes a payment, I would actually get my share of the entire loan. So if I only have one share of it, the Lending Club does all their math, and you get your principal plus your interest every single month.
So that's pretty cool. You log into your account. I don't know if you want to share. You don't have to share, but do you have a couple deals that you have right now? A couple loans out? So do you go and check in every day, and you get to see like if people are making their payments and stuff?
I don't, only because I used to do that when I was on Prosper.com, and many years ago, Prosper, they were one of the first ones doing this, and they had a bunch of I think legal stuff going on, and so payments and all these borrowers were thinking it was like free money, so nobody got their payments. Prosper is different now; it's a lot safer, but it's the same thing. You don't want to go on there and see, okay, this person's back or defaulted on their loan, or they haven't made a payment in 60 days. That's not gonna make you feel any better. So
Yeah.
usually I check it like every 45 days, 60 days.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's really cool, man. I'm glad you shared that. That's definitely something I'm interested in. Would you say that that's more of a active form of income or a passive form of income?
It's extremely passive. I don't check it. I don't email the borrower, say, hey, you need to make a payment in 2 days. I want
You don't
my
show up
money.
at the door?
So all I do is invest money. It's kind of like the stock market, but again, it's a risk. It's not a short-term get rich quick scheme. This is more of my long-term to making money.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's just another income stream. It doesn't make me a lot every month, but it's there.
Yeah, it adds up. That's one thing that for the viewers watching right now, if you guys know my backstory, I'm dabbling in a lot of different things. And there's quite a few of my income streams, Adam, that don't make a ton of money, a couple $100 here, a couple hundred there, but it adds up. Wouldn't you agree that when you go to go through your Excel spreadsheet
Yeah.
or your book, you do your books at the end of the month or whatever, wouldn't you agree that these little streams, they really do add up?
Yeah, they really do, and they don't have to be big. But if you say you had 10 income streams all making $100, there's your $1,000 right there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever get any surprise checks in the mail, but I always do, and it's on your face at the end of the day when you just work 12 hours and you're beat, and you get a $800 check from somebody you didn't know was coming. Great feeling.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm in the comment section right now. It looks like we're at about 6:24, coming up on the halfway mark. in a couple of minutes, but I just want to shout some more people out, Adam, and give some love because it's really awesome. You know, there's so many things people could be doing right now, but they're here hanging out with us. So let's show some love to some people. We got Silver Hair Stacker saying howdy. What's going on? We got Misty in the house. Chris Hunter. What's up, Chad? We got the Golden Finger Picker in the house with the Reseller Society. Glad to have you here. Elizabeth Rubin. Hey, from San Diego. I'm sure it's beautiful right now in San Diego. We got Jacob in the house. Let's see who else we got. Louis the Seller. What's going on, man? Louis says, I can't get in the loan, quote unquote, loan business. I like having money come in, not go out. It's all an investment, Louis. I think that's really what it is. If, you know, I know some folks that are listening, they might be hand to mouth right now. I was, right? So would you advise that loan business is somebody who's hand to mouth right now with their income?
No, if you're hand to mouth with your income, I would not advise that loan. There's so example, somebody asked me the same thing because I did mention this in a YouTube video. It's probably a while back. They asked me, you know, is it better to invest in, you know, Amazon FBA or eBay or do a loan? A lot more money on Amazon and eBay, investing that $25 or $50 investment, then you could, you know, doing that investment. So this is just another income stream. I'm not saying you're going to get rich. You'd have to put a lot of money into this to make a lot of money each month, but it is another income stream.
Exactly. Let's see. I'm looking in the comments to see what's going on in here. Somebody said, Golden Finger Picker asks, why wouldn't someone just go to a bank? Is it for bad credit people?
Well, no, not really. You know, some people do have bad credit, and even banks will lend to people with, you know, a 600 credit score. Their interest rate is going to be crazy. You might as well just go to Capital One and get yourself a credit card, but you can still do it. This is just another option. You never have to go to the bank. You never leave your house. You do it all online. Day and age, everybody's doing stuff online. So the, you know, even locally, the amount of lenders that are at banks, you know, they're getting fired, they're getting laid off because people are using online services.
Awesome. Really good advice right there. Let's shift gears a little bit, Adam, and let's talk a little bit about Amazon FBA. What tips would you have for somebody who is, you know, I always like to cater to the beginner because I know how hard it was, and I'm sure you do as well. When you were first starting with FBA, I still remember sending out my first shipment with my mother. We were both kind of starting FBA at the same time, and I remember Dallas Moore. Do you know Dallas Moore at all? Yeah, he's a really cool guy. He's from Texas, and he makes YouTube videos and whatnot. But he actually ended up giving me a call and walked me through my first entire shipment because I was so confused, man. Like I didn't understand why it was like getting split off to like 3 different locations, and I'm like, like I can't handle this. So, anyways, someone just getting started, or maybe they've been in the game for 2 or 3 months on Amazon FBA. What advice would you give somebody who wants to take their income to the next level, but they're just so overwhelmed?
The advice I'd give them is just to get started, to learn. You know, educate yourself on the whole process. When I first did it, no one was there to hold my hand. I wasn't lucky enough to get a phone call. It was through trial and error. That was what it was. And like you said, you cater to people that are just starting out. That's the same thing for me as well, because, you know, that's where the people are either gonna, you know, go all in, or they're just gonna close up shop and just say, no, this was a scam. You know, this is not going to work. You can't make money this way. You just need to learn, watch YouTube videos, you know, read blog posts, and, you know, just go out there and do it.
That's really key. The last part. Hopefully everyone caught that. Just go out there and do it, because you know there's a lot of people, and I fall into this trap as well, where I love to plan. I love to take out a piece of note paper, and I just love to plan and strategize and put all these ideas together. But who's going to make more money, Adam? The person who sits there planning and planning and planning and never taking action, or someone who just takes action, makes a bunch of mistakes, falls on their face, but figures things out? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah. And it's happening more and more. People are seeing, and you and I probably aren't helping the cause, but people are thinking, oh, you can easily make money. And I go on YouTube all the time, and I say easily, like if it, It's like
Yep.
breathing. Well, I use that word far too often, and
Yep. Me
people
too.
come to me or, hey, this is not that easy. Why are my shipments going different places? How do I even scan something? That was looking at all the products, trying to figure out the ranking on the product. There's no ranking on the product. You have to scan the barcode first to see it.
Yeah.
But she was flipping that product over, trying to find the ranking. I was like, no, it's not on the product. It's you
Wouldn't
gotta
that be
scan
awesome if we could just find products and like you find a toy and it says like 8,000 Rankin toys? You're like, sweet.
it. That was
Um, yeah, you know, you really are right about that, Adam. I think we both fall victim to that. I know I do it all the time. I was on a Periscope the other day and I'm just talking like it's so easy. And I'm like, after like someone made a comment, I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like it's like someone who's never ridden a bike before, right? It's like, oh, it's so easy. Why don't you go
Mhm.
flying down this mountain and you know you can do it? And it's like
Yeah.
it is challenging. You know, I have a buddy who's starting up a reselling business, and him and another one of my friends, they're partnering up together. And he calls me the other day, and he goes, "Steve, this isn't as easy as I thought it was. You know, there's a lot of math, there's a lot of organization, there's a lot of systems. Like I have to learn how to take
Right.
pictures, I have to learn how to do that, and you know, it isn't rocket science, but." It is like a, wouldn't you agree, Adam, that it's really like a, it's not a physically hard business, but it's mentally challenging because you have to be able to be consistent day in and day out. You have to take action and you have to like pay attention to the details. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's definitely physical. It's both physical and it's emotional business because you buy some at the store and it's just incredible. You get it home, you get it all packaged or get it back, you scan into inventory lab and the price just tanked. Spent, so many hours doing this. All these items, I just gotta take it back to the store. They're not making any money.
Yep.
It's an emotional business. If you can't handle that,
Yeah.
then yeah, and then physical, you gotta get out there. You can't sit around and do nothing. Yeah, you can charge, you can do wholesale, private label, send it directly to a prep center, and you think you didn't do work, but you're making money. Yeah, but the
Yep.
ones starting out, that's not where you start. You start scanning, you do the listing, and you do the shipment yourself.
I tell you, the number one thing that I've seen, friends of mine, family, thank God that my mother and I are close because she would have quit in a long time ago if I wasn't there to help her out because a lot of people cannot handle the fact that they buy something for $8, they sell it for 100. Mentally, they
Hmm.
say, "Look, I got the money from Amazon. I made $70 profit." And then 2 weeks later, they get a return and the money's gone. And you see their head just exploding and they can't handle
Yeah,
it. It is emotional, like you said, man. It really is emotional. And another thing, too, that people don't realize, like the common person, they're so used to going to a job, right, Adam? And they put in the work and then they get paid.
yeah,
But with
yeah.
entrepreneurship, what's the difference? Isn't there a lot of upfront work?
It's all upfront work. You do everything now, and then you get paid, later. So it's kind of like if you got paid once a month at your job. Most people, unless they're in sales or doing a commission-based work, they're not going to do that. They're going to want their check every Friday
Crazy.
or every other week. I couldn't live like that. I hate getting paid for the hours that I work.
Mm,
I'd rather get paid for being smart and being,
yep.
efficient at what I do.
Yep. I definitely agree
Yeah.
with that. We got some comments coming in from my buddy Louie and Tim. They're asking about VAs. If you guys are watching, you're not sure what a VA is. It's actually a virtual assistant, and think of it as an employee but virtually. So, for example, with one of my businesses that I run, the Green Room University, which is a membership site, we have a VA or a virtual assistant in the Philippines who helps with a lot of the bookkeeping, the payment processing, all that stuff. So, Louie's asking, since Adam has multiple businesses, how much does he rely on VAs? And Tim also said, I'm curious about that as well. How much do you outsource to your VAs? So can you touch on virtual assistants, Adam, and how they play a role in your business?
So the nice thing about having a virtual assistant is that you can send them almost anything and they're going to do it. And down in the Philippines, I think was it like $3 an hour? I don't remember, but it's
I think
very
most
cheap.
of them live on $5 a day or less.
Yeah, five. So by paying somebody, let's say, $10, $15 a day to do something that you don't want to do, writing up like for me, I have a bunch of websites, so writing up a blog post, doing some
Oh,
editing to
okay.
video. I've been trying to get into editing my own videos because I just like
Yeah.
but so I sat there at the computer with my son one day, and we sat there trying to do an outro for about like 4 hours. And then I figured out how it worked. I sent one of the VAs an email. But it's like, oh, 15 minutes later, the outro was finished, and so I only have one video with an outro, but that was it. That was my so again, to get back to your question with the VAs, you can pretty much send them anything. And what I do is I like to set a price per day based on what I need, and 30 blog posts I need written. And I know my VA he could only do maybe 5, maybe 8 a day at max. I'm gonna tell him, okay, I need this done. I'm gonna pay you, $40. Can you do it?
Mhm.
In the Philippines, that's gonna go a
A
long
lot
way.
of money. Do you
Yeah.
use
So
virtual assistants at all in your Amazon FBA business? And what would you recommend that some people may start looking into to utilize VAs in their Amazon FBA business? I don't have any in my FBA business at all. I know I
um,
should. I know. I already preaching
so
to the
yes, I
choir.
do. I do have VAs again, and down in the Philippines. So do you use OA X-ray at all?
No, but a buddy of mine in the green room just did a private show on it and went through a little walkthrough of it, and that's it. That's a cool software, man. But anyways, yes, I've heard of it, but I don't use it.
So I've been paying for OA X-ray for, I don't know, 8 months or something. So Todd, he's the creator, I think, of it. I get an email from him about a few weeks ago saying that OA X-ray is now going to employ the company in the Philippines so that you can
Mhm.
hire virtual assistants to do all your online
Oh,
sourcing for you. The key to my business was I was paying these people. I taught them myself how to do this. So now he just opened up the door, which my business a little bit. I might take a little bit of a hit, but that's one way I use a VA in Amazon FBA is I taught them how to use OA X-ray. They do it for me, and you just pay them for
so for the
that.
oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but for the people who don't know what you're talking about, OX or XO, OXX, what the heck is it called?
OA X-ray,
OA
the online
X-ray.
arbitrage.
I'm like, I
OA,
feel like I'm about to go get
yeah.
like an MRI done or something. Um, it's a software that allows you to, correct me if I'm wrong, to be able to source undervalued products on eBay, which then I'm guessing you'd essentially flip on Amazon.
Actually, it's not just eBay.
Oh, okay.
My biggest source is Walmart. I go to Walmart.com. I'll go to whatever
Really?
category I want to. The little icon up on it's a Google extension, and it pops up the next window and says, okay, these items here are profitable. These ones aren't. This is how much you're going to make. These are your Amazon fees. This is the ranking. It gives you all that.
Cool. Really cool.
So, yeah, and so it's a great software. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I use
Yeah,
it.
guys, definitely check that out. OX X-ray. Is that what it's OX X-ray?
OA.
OA X-ray. They need a new name. It's
Yeah.
too confusing for me. But yeah, definitely check that out. I'll link to that in the description as well after the show. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Kindle Publishing. Real quick, for people who want to hire virtual assistants, I've used Upwork.com and Fiverr.com. I know there's some other ones out there as well, but those are good ones.
Mhm.
But let's talk about Kindle Publishing. Is there still money to be made with Kindle Publishing, Adam? As you know, I was big into Kindle Publishing, CreateSpace, ACX, which is CreateSpace is physical books, and ACX is audible books. I haven't been publishing much after the changes occurred about probably what, 6 to 8 months ago, after they changed the payout feature, I really stopped publishing. You know, I still have well over 100 books. You know, they're all still for sale. I still make money from them, a couple $1,000s per month, but my income's really taken a hit, and the less attention I give it, the less money I make. So I'd really like to know your opinion. Are you still publishing? Is there money to be made? Has the game changed? And what are your thoughts on Kindle Publishing in 2016?
The game has changed a bunch. Before you could make money, you could slap up a crappy book and it was going to sell. You could make a little bit of money off it. Now that's not the case. So everyone that stopped publishing, yes, I am still publishing books, not at the rate I was, but I am still publishing. But what I'm doing differently now is I am creating more books within the same niche.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of books on dog training. Self-help books are pretty much my bread and butter. Stick to the same category so that I can create a website for that, and I can send traffic that way.
Oh.
Because for me, it's all about being in multiple places at one time. So if I can get somebody that's reading the ebook to go to my website, sign up for an email, get their opt-in or do the opt-in that way, let them see my content. Maybe there's a product on Amazon that I can recommend them, which goes back to affiliate marketing. Or so you can hit somebody with your ebook in the beginning, and then you're promoting different products in the end. So you're not just making one income, you're making 3 or 4.
So you heavily depend on giving away something for free, I'm assuming, in your Kindle books to get them on your email list. Is that one of your main focuses?
That's the main focus. The goal with anything is to educate somebody.
Sure, of course.
When somebody asks, what do I do? Really, I'm just an educator. On YouTube, on Amazon, website, doesn't matter. So you give away quality content.
Mm-hmm.
They'll opt into your, whatever you're giving, a free ebook or just a newsletter, because they like what you're talking about. They like what they learned from you. You don't, I'm on I think I'm on the green room list.
Yeah.
And you give some great information. You're not selling somebody something. This is great information, a free video, free guide. It's use in my business.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The key really is you want to definitely get them for the folks listening. If you're doing Kindle or if you're doing YouTube or if you have a website, you really want to get them on that email list, because it's really about that one-on-one interaction. And you also have that security, right? Where, whereas with YouTube or your Kindle business, if they kick you off, you lose contact with that customer. What are you using, Adam, for your email service provider once you're collecting emails?
I'm using GetResponse now.
Gotta check out ConvertKit, man.
So I was going to use ConvertKit because I think ConvertKit, Gumroad, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is a sweet little combination.
Problem was I also use Opt-in Skin by Glenn Alslop or something.
Okay, I use Opt-in Monster. I just purchased.
I use Opt-in Skin. I don't know. I've been thinking about going to ConvertKit, but then there wasn't a little button that I could click. Okay, ConvertKit. I'm putting my ID or whatever,
Right.
and then it would just seamless as GetResponse. That was why I picked that.
The thing I love with ConvertKit is you can tag all the people based on their actions and their behavior. Whereas you're using GetResponse, right? I believe they integrated some new features and whatnot, but it's so much easier with ConvertKit. Everything's so intuitive. And like, for example, if someone's on my email list and I put out a video maybe about my YouTube setup, if somebody clicks on that video, I could actually tag them as interested in YouTube. So for example, if maybe a year down the road I want to create a YouTube course, instead of blasting out a message to my whole entire list, who, let's be real, there's people on my list who only want to hear about FBA, they only want to hear about eBay. You send somebody who's only interested about eBay, about YouTube, they're unsubscribing from your list. But anyways, that's a little bit about email marketing and whatnot. So for your affiliate marketing, are you doing a lot of Amazon Associates, or are you going over to ClickBank or JVZoo?
Actually, all three.
All three. You monster.
Yeah. So I actually used to have a couple courses on ClickBank myself, and so I wasn't an affiliate. I would actually be
Okay.
the whole thing. But no, I do. And anyone that wants to get started, let's say making a small commission on Amazon, there's days where it goes up and down. You can make $5 a day. You can make $100 and some dollars a day. It just depends. But there's people online that all they do, and they figure out, okay, I need to, like for me, I was looking at buying the Canon G7X.
I have
And so
that. It's a beautiful camera.
So because the 70D is it's way too big. And so to walk around somewhere and hold that in front of you, it's like
He's a monster. I
you
know.
almost need to hire somebody for that.
Yeah.
But the things I do is I create YouTube videos just on reviews of different products that I use.
Do you put that on your main homemade entrepreneur site, or do you have another channel?
No. Right now I have 13 channels.
Wow, we got to talk about that, man. You just got me freaking excited with that little comment that you just made. Anyways, keep going. We'll dive into that.
And so back into Amazon FBA as well, and private label. But you create a review on the product, and you put in the comment section or in the description, this is the link to the product if you want to check it out. Get 100 people to go to that link. I think Amazon right now has a conversion rate of 13%. 13 people out of every 100 that click that link are going to buy.
So it's all about just getting traffic over there.
And that's the main thing with Amazon, and this Amazon is a big chunk of all my income, is because they spend the time, they do the research, they put the money into their business, into their website, make sure that whoever gets to their site, they're either learning about something, they're going to buy the product, A to Z guarantee. Amazon's a safe bet. You send somebody there, 13% conversion rate. That's pretty good, huge, no matter where you're at.
Wow, that's really cool right there. That's some really good information. I want to ask everybody. First off, I want to say thank you everybody who's watching so far. We're about 45 minutes into the show, 3/4 of the way done. If you guys have been enjoying this show, give us some love right now. Take that finger and tap it. Tap your mouse. Tap the like button. Don't hit it twice, because then you'll dislike. You don't want to do that. But hit the like button. Show us some love. Let us know that we're doing a good job. It helps to get the videos promoted, and lets me know that you know what, you like this content, and gets me motivated to get more people like Adam on these live shows, because it's really about helping you guys out. This is why I do this. I don't make a ton of money from my YouTube channel. I'm not going to lie. I do make some pretty decent money, a little side cash, and it does add up. Like we were talking about, Adam, each income stream does add up, but it's all about the love. I love helping others, and help us out and hit that like button for sure. Real quick, I want to ask you, Adam, is it lucrative to open up multiple YouTube channels and do reviews and stuff like that? I mean, is it really worth it? Do you have any tips for someone who maybe wants to make some commissions on reviews? Or let me even go a step further. Do you have any VAs doing reviews for you? My whole mind is like freaking spinning right now.
I don't have VAs. I like actually shooting videos. I do. I like shooting the videos. I hate editing videos, but I love shooting the videos. So for me, your first question, is it lucrative to create multiple accounts? So like for you or I, we have an audience based on entrepreneurship, on Amazon FBA, reselling. Say for you to put on a how to gut a fish or use a fillet knife, how many of your followers or your subscribers are even going to watch that? Nobody wants to see that.
I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to just put up a video how to gut a fish just to piss off the haters.
Yeah, so with that said, you have to create a new YouTube channel in order to because if you kept doing that over and over again, this review, that review, 10 reviews later, your subscribers, they're going to be like, no, I'm not going to follow this guy. I don't want to see this stuff. YouTube channel.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk about a little bit about your daily routine, and managing your income streams. Let's get a little intimate right now. What's your daily routine like when you wake up in the morning? I'm really big into the Miracle Morning. Stefan Palermo's Project Life Mastery, his morning rituals and whatnot. Tony Robbins' morning rituals. What is your day like, man? Talk to the people about how you manage these multiple businesses. Do you have a routine for right when you wake up? How do you manage your day and make sure everything's being taken care of? Because there were some comments in the comment section about, like, I don't know how to handle it all. Like I'd get burnt out. Like, how do you do it, man?
Well, so as when I first started, which is it's coming up on 10 years. I think in like a month, I've been doing
Wow.
online business for 10 years. Maybe we'll have a party or something. But
Hey, man, I'll bring the booze.
yeah, and so really, like 5, 6 years ago, I was really into setting up my day was structured. I'd have a physical, marked out every 15 minutes of what I was doing the entire
Wow.
day. And so, uh, but like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I decided, you know, structure my day that way anymore. I got to the point where, you know, if if I miss something one day, my business is still going to be fine. I'm still going to go forward. It's still going to make money. So I'm not sure if this is what everyone wants to hear, but I don't have know, a, a structure per se. I get up in the morning. I have a 2-year-old son, so we'll eat breakfast. We'll watch cartoons for a little bit. You know, set up my business in a way that I can do that.
Hmm.
And so, but once it's time to get to work or whatever,
Mhm.
that is when I'm very structured. I don't go, like I mentioned to you. If you send me something on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, I haven't updated that in years because I don't do that. When it comes to Facebook through business or whatever, I try to stay up to date. I try to give a post or publish something. So I plan my day the night before so that I know, do I need to wake up at
That's
three
big.
o'clock in the morning or can I sleep until 10 and get up and kind of hit the day, kind of relax or something. So I always I have a little um, pad that I write down exactly what I'm gonna do the next day. And by planning it the night before, okay, I need to get up early. I can sleep in. I have a long day, I have a short day, and so that the day before.
How do you decide what to focus on?
Return on investment. So a lot of people argue with me about this, but I think time is one of the most precious and um, commodities that we have, and so time is an investment. If I can spend 1 hour doing something and it's gonna make me $1,000, I'd rather do that than spend 2 hours doing something that's gonna make me $30. That's usually what I do if I see one of my businesses is starting to fail or it's starting to go backwards. In it or hire a virtual assistant.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you just and it's really up to you. It's my business. I can run it any way I want to,
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of it.
that really is the beauty of it, each person watching right now, that's the luxury of running your own business. You get to decide the culture of your business, when you want to work, how hard you want to work, your income, right? The amount of growth that you want to have. There's
Yep.
people out there who they're happy to earn an extra $1,000 a month, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. My good buddy,
Yep.
the bona fide hustler, who is one of the partners in the green room. I mean, that guy could probably, to be 100% honest, and he knows that we've talked about it, he can make a lot more money. He definitely could. But the guy's got a killer lifestyle. He spends a lot of time working out. When I went to visit him, he spent a lot of time, in the water, hanging out with his dogs, his girlfriend, and he made good money, doing what he was doing with his antique
Yeah.
booth, his eBay. But that was his lifestyle, because I had kind of questioned him, like, why don't you step up your Amazon FBA game to the next level or your eBay game to the next level? Because it's just like, that's just in my mind. Like, I'm always just trying to make more money. But the more I'm in this business, more I realize it's not always about the money. It's about, for me,
No.
for me, it's about helping people and level of happiness and just enjoying life. But anyways, enough of that little rant. Biggest mistakes in learning. Let's talk about what are some of the biggest mistakes that you feel like you've made. If you had to maybe pick one or two things that you'd classify as a big mistake over the last 10 years that you would have wished that you would have done differently if you knew better, that maybe will help somebody who's listening now to avoid it.
Well, like I've said, hiring somebody to help you out with your business is, everyone says I can't afford that. No, you can't afford not to hire somebody. The amount of money that you could make by hiring somebody else to do, and you go out and do something else that's gonna make you more money. Yeah, the investment up front, it's gonna be there, but the side of hiring somebody, it's far greater. That was one thing. Another thing is, when I first started, I was creating about, there's days where it was between 5 to 10 websites per day, and that was just too many. I was throwing up garbage, but they're still making money. I wish, now looking back at it, I wish I would have put more time into it. The content would have been, more timeless content, not, in the now. So even though I wrote it 5 years ago or something, it would still be profitable today. Well, most of them have closed. Um, People did their thing, but yeah, you can't. You want to look at the long picture. You don't just think about, today, what am I going to do to make money. Think about, okay, how am I going to invest in my business today, and I'm going to profit tomorrow, next week, next month, and even next year.
That's great advice, Adam. What advice would you have for someone brand new to the game that wants to quit their job and start making money online?
Don't quit till you start making money first. Um, you need to start making the money. You need to prove the process. So just because you hear myself or you talking about Amazon FBA and how you can make money, and, oh, I'm making this much or that much, don't listen to all those other people that are making money. You need to prove it yourself that in your lifestyle and your situation, you can make money. Not just with Amazon FBA, it's with any business. Uh, Prove the process and then quit your job. I'm a firm believer you need to have some type of safety net. So between 6 to 10 months of your monthly expenses, you need to have that in the bank. Amount you really don't, especially if you're working online. There could be months where you have negative months.
Very, very interesting. We got the Bonafide Hustler in the comments section, and he popped in and said, "Heard that." I was talking about him. I didn't know he was in there. Close your ears, Bonafide. No, but it was I really do, and you were touching on this as well. I really do think it is more than the money in this business. Like with the Bonafide Hustler, I mean,
Yeah.
you hang out with the guy and you realize the guy's got a great life and he really treasures lifestyle. And with that being said, what do you really treasure? What's your main goal out of business? Is it the freedom to be able to hang out with your kids, or to be able to, have extra time to spend with your family, or be able to work out and get a great body or physique, or learn karate? I mean, what's your main goal of having a business?
So my main goal is, being more family oriented. I like spending time with my kids. Like to, we go out of town. We go on vacation maybe a couple times a month. It's something we can do. We can afford to do it. And then we go out of town, find products to sell on Amazon. My kids love doing it with me. My wife does it. She'll be walking with me and she'll scan stuff, or we'll go to a book sale or a thrift store. She's not big on the pawn shops. I love them. She
She
doesn't.
doesn't like to negotiate.
She doesn't. And even just today, I just bought a TI-89 titanium,
How much you pay?
and
40?
50 $59 for it.
Oh, you're paying up, man. You're
So
you're you're playing on that the price is going to go up, aren't you? Because I know those things are at like 79 right now.
yeah, well, and so it's like, actually, I think new it was selling for like 112 right now.
Oh, you got it brand new?
Yeah, it was brand new. Yeah,
Oh,
still in
holy
package.
crap! Yeah, that's a phenomenal deal. I thought you paid it used. I'm like, well,
No,
I remember a few quarters ago that thing went up to almost $100 used. So I thought you were playing on that on the school year coming.
yeah. No, so that's brand new. And so I bought that one for under 60. I went to another pawn shop, found the exact same item that was selling for 105. So yeah, I'm not going to negotiate with
Yeah,
this guy down,
yeah.
$50, but
Happens all
yeah,
the time.
something like that. I love pawn shops, so
Making that
my
pawn
wife does as
shop
well.
profit, man. Yeah, I know. It's a little intimidating. It's definitely a different game. But anyways, we got about 1 minute left. I want to open up the comment section for 60 seconds now. Answer a few more questions in here to see if anything's coming through. I know my buddy Tim asked a question. What do you use to hide the affiliate link or shorten it for the YouTube description?
So most people they'll still click a bit.ly link. Sometimes I'll just go to Amazon. Well, anytime with Amazon, I'll put an Amazon short link. So it's just a short text link. It says it's like AMAZ
Yep.
dot
Yep.
whatever, and it's still people know it's coming from Amazon. So in that sense, I won't use a bit.ly link. But if it's a bank, I'll actually create a website for it, and I will actually host the affiliate link through my website. So it could be, xyz.com/money online,
Use
and
Pretty
once they
Link.
click, I actually have no clue what I'm using right now. I used to use Pretty Link, right now, but whatever it is, it works.
Is it against the terms of service on YouTube to put a Bitly or an Amazon short link directly to an Amazon affiliate offer? I always thought you had to use like a redirect from like Pretty Link, to kind of cloak. Is that the right word? Cloak uh,
Yeah, close.
the affiliate link.
I didn't think it was against the terms of service, which, oh, now that you asked that, maybe I should check because I don't want that income going away. But I know you can't do it on Facebook. You can't do an ad and directly link from a Facebook ad to Amazon.
Even what if you cloak it?
If you cloak it, I think you can. But
Okay.
as far as what
Okay.
I would do, I would actually send somebody to a landing page first.
Cool. Awesome. So I want to keep us to our time frame. Looks like we're at about the hour mark. I want to thank you, Adam, for coming on to the Raiken Profit live show.
Yeah.
You did a great job, man, and it was really cool. We talked a lot about a whole wide array of things, from Amazon FBA to Kindle Publishing to YouTube, affiliate marketing, email marketing, virtual assistants. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. So for the folks coming in just right now, be sure to rewatch this video. There's a lot of golden nuggets in this video. Looks like we had between 80 to 90 viewers the whole entire time, which is really, really cool. Want to thank you guys. I'm nodding my head to you guys, showing appreciation, letting you know that, it was a lot of fun hanging with you all. If you like this video, hit the like button, show some love. Also, if you enjoyed the content that Adam shared with everybody, be sure to check him out on YouTube at The Homemade Entrepreneur. Also on Facebook, is it The Homemade Entrepreneur as well?
Yep.
And let me guess,
Yeah. Facebook and
thehomemadeentrepreneur.com?
Instagram. It's actually homemade-entrepreneurs.com.
Okay, homemadeentrepreneurs.com. All right. After the show, I'll have you send me over some of those links, Adam, and we'll put those in the description. But
Yep.
yeah, do you have any final words for the 78 people who are still sticking along and watching?
That was definitely fun. I think we got to. Did we get to everything we wanted to talk about? I'm
Oh,
not
not even
100%
close,
sure.
man. I get selfish sometimes. Like, I get excited about some of the stuff that you're talking about, and I'm like, you know what? We're going down the affiliate marketing, the email marketing rabbit hole, and we missed about whatever 25% of it, but we'll do it again. But any closing
Yeah.
words?
So, no, I think that's it. That was a lot of fun. Definitely want to do it again though.
You should do a live show on your channel sometime, man. I mean, for the people watching, you've got what, over 10,000 subscribers now?
Yeah, something like that.
You should do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have you on one of these days.
Hey man, hey man, I'll definitely return the favor. I appreciate it, but it's really great, man. For YouTube's new algorithm now is really playing a lot in favor to the watch time. So if you want to get
Yeah.
your video found in the search, if you want your videos ranking a lot better, if you want to show up in the recommended videos and just outrank your competitors on YouTube, the higher the watch time, the better chance that you're going to have of ranking the video. And I'm actually going to be coming out with a video, hopefully this week, that shares how I nearly doubled my income and my views over the last 6 to 8 weeks on YouTube by doing live shows and a few other things as well. So I'll definitely share that with you. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Adam. It was a lot of fun. Check him out again on YouTube at The Homemade Entrepreneur. Also, social media and his website will be in the description. But until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the like button, show some love, check this guy out, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.